This is the Rich Dad Radio Show. The good news and bad news about money. Here's Robert Kiyosaki.
Hello, Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show, the good news and bad news about money. And we have a very informative show for you today. He's a dear friend from years and years ago, one of the smartest guys I know. And his name is Richard Duncan. And he is hiding. He has socially distanced himself in Thailand, but he's been there for years. And he is an economist. He's a classically trained economist. He's worked for hedge funds and all this. And years ago, I was walking, 17 years ago, 2003, I was walking in Borders bookstore, who is gone. They're toast. And I saw this little book sitting on the table, and it said The Dollar Crisis. And it went, psst, psst, pick me up. It's a tiny little book. And I picked it up and I said, man, this guy, Richard Duncan's a genius. And the reason I say that is, and Kim knows this, for so many years, I said, we have a dollar crisis. Ever since 1971, when President Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, I knew something was really wrong. And it's here today. And a lot of people still don't know we have a crisis. I am shocked at that. So I was talking to Richard earlier, Kim, that at least the Bitcoin guys know there's a crisis. That's why they're in Bitcoin. But the old guys like me, like certain relatives, they have not a clue. They don't even know this. Why are you buying silver? Why are you buying gold? Why are you buying real estate? Why don't you just save your money like everybody else? So Richard Duncan's book was the first time I felt sane. So thank God there's somebody else who thinks like me. And the book is called The Dollar Crisis. It came out in 2003. And now it's just exploding all over the world. And Richard Duncan was correct. Any comments, Sir Kim?
Well, I always love having Richard on the show because he's an American, been living in Thailand all these years. So I'm always interested to get an outside U.S. perspective on the U.S. And there's so much going on in the U.S. I've heard so many different comments from people in Europe and Asia on the whole, what's happening with the pandemic and the new administration and all of this. So I'm fascinated to hear Richard's take on what's happening with all the printing of money that's going on. Are we having inflation, deflation? I'm looking forward to this conversation.
So, I want everybody to know, if you had bought Richard's book in 2003, you'd be a mega millionaire today. But a lot of people, I hate to say this, many people my age have no idea what's going on. Zero. And we've made so much money just because we read that little book. So, Richard, welcome to the program. Well, thank you for writing The Dollar Crisis. And thank you for continuing your work with Macro Watch as your way of watching the world via charts and graphs and, teaching the world what you see. Exactly as Kim says, you're American, but you sit in Thailand, and you can see how well-loved America is.
Well, Robert, thank you very much for having me back on the show. It's great to see you and Kim. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. So thank you very much for having me back on.
Yeah. Richard, how does it feel? You've been writing about this stuff for years. Dollar crisis, the corruption of capitalism. I've read your books. I'm going, holy mackerel, you could see it coming. So here it is today. We're now in March 2021. They're printing more money than I don't think in history. Maybe Zimbabwe printed more, or Venezuela, I don't know, or the Weimar Republic printed more relatively. But you were correct. This stuff is hitting us so hard. They're printing $120 billion a month in 2021. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. The Fed is creating $120 billion every month, and they are using that newly created money to buy bonds and pumping it into the markets. So it's been fascinating for me to watch. It's been going on more than 2 decades that I've been following this issue. And things have changed so much more radically than I could have ever imagined. At this point, just since 2007, the Fed has expanded the amount of money it's created by 8 times. since 2007, and the government debt in the United States has tripled since the crisis, since the end of 2007. And it's fascinating to watch because, of course, much of this is all new. No one had envisioned that it would happen like this. But now we have to pay attention to how much money is being created because it affects asset prices, the stock market, gold prices, all the other asset classes. And the other thing that we have to keep an eye on is all of this money printing and all of this government debt going to lead to high rates of inflation, because that could be very damaging to asset prices. So right now, there is this extraordinary battle going on in the financial markets. On the bullish side, there is so much new money being created and pumped into the financial markets every day that should drive the asset prices, stock prices, and gold prices higher. But on the other side, the bearish side, there are now worries that inflation is going to pick up. And if inflation picks up, then interest rates will move up. And if interest rates move up, then that's bad for the stock market, and particularly for the very, very expensive NASDAQ shares. And so we're really seeing an extraordinary battle now going on between these two camps. There's a liquidity tsunami, I call it, pouring into the markets. But on the other side, there are concerns that inflation is going up. And so interest rates have started going up. And fortunes are going to be made and lost depending on which side wins out.
I'm going to start this video off with a quote. Henry Ford once said, "It is well enough that the people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system. For if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning." I quote this because it encapsulates the fact that the contents of this video may be unsettling compared to the videos that I normally make. I still feel compelled to make this video because I've been exploring the financial world for the last 4 years, and it's definitely given me a more complete view of the world. I want to share some of what I've come across with you guys. I'm also going to do a video about cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin in the future, and to understand why Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies may continue to rise, it's critical that you understand the contents of this video. I hope that you find this topic interesting and that it inspires you to do your own research afterwards. Now, with that said, let's begin. So who controls all of our money? It's a simple question. We all know that you and I don't control it. Our employees don't control it. The companies that they work for don't control it. So who does? Where does it even come from in the first place? I'll give you a hint. Money does not come from the government. It's a seemingly obvious question that's never asked or taught in schools for some reason. Unfortunately, most people's lives are basically dedicated to money. It's all people ever worry about or talk about. We go to school to learn basically how to go to university, to learn the skills to get a good job, so that we can trade hours of our lives, all for this thing called money. So why wouldn't you want to know where money comes from and who issues it? Today, in this very special video, you're about to find out the answer to the question of who controls all of our money. People today can tell something isn't quite right with our financial system, but they just can't put their finger on it. Some people think it's the failure of government, others think that it's the failure of capitalism itself. This video should clarify a few things. The year is 1694, and England had just suffered through 50 years of war. Exhausted, the English government needed loans to fund their political means. Brainchild of Scottish banker William Paterson, it was decided that a privately owned bank that could issue the money to the government out of thin air was to be the solution. This was the very first modern central banking system in the world. Central banking is more influential than laws, governments, and politicians, but strangely not the focus of the general public. Fast forward to the early 20th century, and after 2 failed attempts, a group of bankers wanted to put a central bank in the United States of America. It was December of 1910, and Senator Nelson Aldrich boarded a private train car in New York with 6 others. The 6 were not to be spotted by any news reporters to avoid questions. Their destination? Jekyll Island off the coast of Georgia. The meeting went for 9 days, and from that, they created the Federal Reserve System. This is all documented and a matter of public record. Some of them went on to write about the meetings in their personal biographies. Here's a quote from Frank Vanderlip, president of the National City Bank of New York, February 9th, 1935, in the Saturday Evening Post.
I was as secretive, indeed as furtive as any conspirator. Discovery, we knew, simply must not happen, or else all our time and effort would be wasted. If it were to be exposed that our particular group had got together and written a banking bill, that bill would have no chance whatever of passage by Congress.
The 6 men that Nelson Aldrich brought together included the head of banks, branches of government, such as the Treasury, and some of the richest people on earth at the time. To give you an idea of how rich they were, in 1910, these 6 men represented a quarter of the world's worth. The bankers told the American public that the purpose of the system was to stabilize the economy and to stop the grip of the Wall Street banks over America. The problem was, the guys that wrote the bill were the very same people they said they'd stop. If they succeeded, it will give a small group of men the ability to create money from nothing and loan it to the American government with interest. So why was it done in secret? Because the American people didn't want a central bank. Back then, unlike today, people knew what central banks were and understood them very well. Everywhere a central bank went, there'll be wealth inequality, wild swings between economic booms and busts, and after each bust, those at the top of society mysteriously came out richer while everyone else got poorer. Europe was the running example of this at the time. The Federal Reserve was originally drafted as the Aldrich Bill, but when it came into Congress, they recognized Senator Aldrich's name and smelt a rat. The bankers needed better cover. They decided to send 2 millionaire friends to carry the bill to quell the suspicions of Congress and renamed it the Federal Reserve Act. Next, in a textbook lesson of deceit, the bankers set out to fool the American people through disinformation. In the newspapers of the day, the bankers screamed and protested against the new Federal Reserve Bill. It would ruin the banks, they exclaimed. The average person read the protesting articles of the bankers and thought to themselves, if the bankers hate it, it must be good. And then they ended up unknowingly supporting a Trojan horse. The bankers also fooled Congress by putting clauses in the bill that limited their power, only to remove them once the bill was passed. A double head fake of the public and Congress was all it took. The bill was passed on December 23, 1913, while most of Congress was out on holiday. And with that, a small group had complete monopoly over the issuing and creation of American money. Today, the Federal Reserve is the most powerful entity in the United States, and they're not ashamed to admit it either. Here's former Fed Chairman Alan Greenspan.
What should be the proper relationship between a chairman of the Fed and a president of the United States?
Well, first of all, the Federal Reserve is an independent agency, and that means basically that there is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take. What the relationships are don't frankly matter.
In addition to this, it seems that the Fed can't even be touched by investigating parties.
So I'm asking you if your agency has, in fact, according to Bloomberg, extended $9 trillion in credit, which, by the way, works out to $30,000 for every single man, woman, and child in this country. I'd like to know, if you're not responsible for investigating that, who is?
We have responsibility for the Federal Reserve's programs and operations, audits, to conduct audits and investigations in that area. In terms of who's responsible for investigating, would you mind repeating the question one more time?
Mr. Chairman, my time is up, but I have to tell you honestly, I am shocked to find out that nobody at the Federal Reserve, including the Inspector General, is keeping track of this.
So what does all of this have to do with me, you might be asking? I don't even live in the US. Well, 2 reasons. Number 1, the central banking model from the Bank of England and the United States has now been put in all countries, and even consolidated power in parts of Europe as the European Central Bank, or ECB. This unites separate countries under one economic policy. The only places in the world that don't have central banks are North Korea, Iran, and Cuba. In 2000, this list suspiciously included Afghanistan, Iraq, and Libya. And number 2, since the end of World War II, the US dollar has been the reserve currency of the world. This means that all central banks hold US dollars in their reserves. In other words, all other currencies are backed by the US dollar. This directly links your country to the Federal Reserve's monetary policy in America. More on this later. When the post-World War II monetary system, called the Bretton Woods system, was created, all US dollars were backed by and exchangeable for gold. A byproduct of this was that currencies used to be very stable in relation to each other.
Before that, all the countries, the exchange rates were fixed, and year after year you could predict what prices were going to be. You could start a business elsewhere, know if you could calculate profits. Business was much, much easier before floating exchange rates.
Unfortunately, in 1971, due to a falling US dollar, international capital flows into gold, and the funding of the Vietnam War, President Nixon took the US dollar off the gold standard.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets.
Now the dollar was floating and backed by nothing, and has been ever since. Okay, so let's think a little. If the US dollar is backed by nothing, but the world's reserves are backed by the US dollar, intrinsically, since 1971, doesn't this mean that all currencies are now backed by nothing tangible, only trust in the American government? Well, this is correct. Money backed by nothing is known as fiat currency. Fiat in Latin means let it be done. In other words, the government says it is money, so it is. A consequence to having money backed by nothing is that whenever the Federal Reserve creates money, it dilutes the currency supply of all other nations because their reserves are backed by the US dollar. All countries' reserves are worth less each time money is created. In the past few years, the Federal Reserve has printed trillions of dollars, and countries like Russia and China have noticed this. As a reaction to the money printing, these countries have been selling US dollar reserves and buying gold over the same period. But wait a second. Some of you clever thinkers out there may have asked yourself, if every currency on Earth is backed by nothing, how am I able to pay for things? Well, as it turns out, the whole economic system today is running because it's backed by faith. Faith that you can exchange your unit of currency for goods or services. In a way, part of that faith comes from the fact that not many people actually know where money comes from. We're about to find that out in this video. A central bank is essentially the entity that manages a nation's money supply, and it can loan money to the government with interest. In the United States and most other countries, it works like this. When the government needs more money than they receive from taxes, they ask the Treasury Department for money. The Treasury then receives an IOU or bond from the government. The Treasury, through the banks, gives this IOU to the Federal Reserve. The Fed then writes a check for this IOU and hands it to the banks. At this exchange at the banks, money is created and it can be used to pay government bills. So hang on, where does the Fed get the money to be able to write this check? They get this money from nowhere. They literally just invent it. Here's a quote from the Boston Federal Reserve. Quote, "When you or I write a check, there must be sufficient funds in our account to cover the check. But when the Federal Reserve writes a check, there is no bank deposit on which that check is drawn. When the Federal Reserve writes a check, it is creating money." End quote. So in essence, they're writing a check and creating money from an account that has no money in it. The money the Federal Reserve creates can be used as legal tender to buy things and eventually makes its way into the real economy. If you and I did that, we'd go to jail for fraud, but they can do it because they invented the system. This is the same system used throughout the world today. Another part of this money creation happens at the commercial bank side. Every time you take out a loan to buy a house, car, or TV, banks create money out of nowhere to give you this loan, and you still have to pay interest on it. And don't just believe me when I say that. Hear it for yourself from the horse's mouth, the people running the system. Graham Towers, former governor of the Central Bank of Canada, states, quote, "Each and every time a bank makes a loan, new credit is created, new deposits, brand new money." End quote. Paul Tucker, Deputy Governor of the Bank of England, quote, "Banks extend credit by simply increasing the borrowing customer's current account." End quote. So what they're basically saying is that each time the bank makes a loan, the bank doesn't use other people's deposited money and give it to you. It creates new money. In modern times, this means typing digits into a computer. 97% of all money is digitally created like this. Only 3% is the physical cash and coins that we carry. Another crazy thing that commercial banks can do is lend out 10 times more money than they actually have in reserves. This is called fractional reserve lending. So who wrote this ridiculous system into law? For the United States, it was part of the Federal Reserve System drafted in 1913. And again, this is the same system used throughout the world. So what's the issue? Why should I even care? Well, there's consequences. When more loans are given out, more money is created, and the rest of the money in circulation is worth less and less as the years go on. This is known as inflation. In a way, inflation is basically a tax that we all pay for the fraud of money printing. Easy money now in exchange for tax on our future generations. It's also why in 1950, a house used to cost $7,000 and a car, $2,000. Obviously, this is no longer the same today. Things will always keep getting more expensive as long as this system is in place. This was actually kind of okay because wages grew in relation to inflation until about 2008. Why this stopped happening is a story for another day. So things are already pretty crazy, but they get even crazier. The more you look into it, the stranger things become. So remember how we're talking about how central banks and commercial banks can create money out of nothing? This procedure actually does create something. It creates debt. Let me explain. When you take out a loan, it's written down as an asset in the bank as a negative form, kind of like a negative value of money, or otherwise known as debt. Under this system, debt is actually money. And again, don't just listen to me. Mariner Eccles, former governor of the Federal Reserve, states, quote, "If there were no debts in our money system, there wouldn't be any money." So in essence, instead of gold being the backbone of our economy, it's now debt. The system we're under now is sometimes referred to as the debt-based monetary system. It requires that debt always grows. Countries and people must become deeper in debt so that there's more money in the system, because remember, debt is money. If people and governments stop borrowing money and pay back loans, the debt doesn't grow, the money supply shrinks, and the system falters. It truly is bizarre, but we all live in this system each and every day. The Federal Reserve and other central banks control money by adjusting its supply and how much it costs to borrow money, otherwise known as the interest rate. With these tools, and as a consequence of human group psychology, central banks can create booms and busts in the economy at will and also distort and derail an economy by messing with it. Let's take a quick case study. In the year 2000, Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan cut interest rates to 1%. He did this to try and fight off a recession from the dot-com bubble and encourage people to borrow money. When interest rates are low, if you're borrowing money, you save a whole lot on repaying mortgages. Since a 1% interest rate hadn't been seen at the time since the 1950s, it was a pretty good deal. Greenspan's idea was that he could create a wealth effect. People would start to buy houses, the prices would go up, and then people would feel wealthier and spend more money in the economy and stimulate it. Greenspan sure succeeded in getting people to borrow money to buy houses, but they borrowed too much, and the result was the 2008 housing bubble. This is a prime example of what can go wrong when central banks mess with an economy. Yes, corrupt bankers have a lot to answer for in their role in the 2008 crisis, but the Fed has a far bigger long-term impact. Even crazier things are happening in Japan. Their central bank is buying so many stocks that they were the #1 buyer of Japanese stocks in 2016. So they have part ownership of companies with money that they created from nothing. So in essence, it is the central banks that control our economy and the central and commercial banking system together that control all of our money. The difference is central banks can create money at will, while commercial banks need loans to create money. To give you an idea of people's views of central banking when people actually knew what central banks were, here's a couple of examples. In 1881, then President of the United States, James Garfield, states, quote, "Whoever controls the volume of money in any country is absolute master of all industry and commerce, and when you realize that the entire system is very easily controlled one way or another by a few powerful men at the top, you will not have to be told how periods of inflation and depression originate." End quote. Benjamin Franklin in his autobiography stated that the prime reason for the American War of Independence was a battle over who actually controlled and issued the money of the new colonies. Moving on to more modern times, Nobel Prize-winning economist Milton Friedman states, quote, "The Federal Reserve definitely caused the Great Depression by contracting the amount of currency in circulation by 1/3 from 1929 to 1933, end quote. So with all of this being said, some would argue that central banks are not inherently a bad thing. They just need to be part of the government and not privately owned. The government should be able to issue its own money for the benefit of the people and shouldn't have to pay a massive interest on its own debt. This was tried at least once in the United States by President Lincoln, who stated this:
The government should create, issue, and circulate all the currency and credit needed to satisfy the spending power of the government and the buying power of consumers. By the adoption of these principles, the taxpayers will be saved immense sums of interest. Money will cease to be master and become the servant of humanity.
Abraham Lincoln then issued his own government money. It was called the greenback. No further comments on that story. So I think we'll end the video there. There's so much more that I could cover about what central banking decisions led to what revolutions around the world. Pretty much when you look at it, all revolutions and all wars, when you dig through everything, it all boils down to money. I could also have talked about the new global movement of those who are rejecting the debt-based economic system. People are starting to move their currency into gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but that's a whole nother story for another day. Anyways, if you've watched the
Okay, guys, that's the end of our crypto, our education, our financial education this evening. It wasn't really around crypto, but I just want you guys to understand the history of money and how it's issued, all right, and where actually it's going as well. Okay, all right, so let's go straight into our presentation. All right, let me share my screen. Oh, before we do that, just let's take a quick look at where Bitcoin is at the moment. Okay, so what we're looking at here, we're looking at the price for Bitcoin. This is a cryptocurrency that we are looking at. It's a digital asset. And for those persons who are joining us for the first time, basically the person who invited you here this evening is inviting you to take a look at this digital asset and how it can benefit you and your family, right? Now, if you've never heard about Bitcoin before, well, that's the reason you're here as well, so that you can be educated about this cryptocurrency. All right, so right now we can go straight onto Google, just type in Bitcoin price, and this will bring us here. Okay, at the moment, Bitcoin is actually, let me refresh. All right, so right now we are at 63,000, okay, 167 US dollars for one Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is a digital currency, and even though it's a digital currency, guys, it's something also known as a cryptocurrency. That means the price goes up and down, okay, based on supply and demand. All right. So you can, have a Bitcoin and, in matter of few seconds, it can have a different value, right? Over time, long term, okay, because it's an asset that you try to hold on to it long term. And over that long term period of holding it, it would always be up in value. All right. So that's the benefit of holding this digital currency. That is a kind of like a guarantee that okay, based on how Bitcoin works, that it will be at a higher value. It's just like, owning a piece of land, and over time, that piece of land, okay, with development and so on, okay, the land value will go up. All right. So it's most likely to go up rather than come down. Okay, so that's why a lot of persons are seeing it possible to own this asset. Now, you can own this asset in fractions, okay, which is different to another commodity or any other commodity where you cannot purchase it in fractions. For instance, you own a piece of land, or you want to, let's say someone's selling 10,000 square feet of land, okay, to give you a price, you can't say, well, I can't afford the full 10,000 square feet. I only want, 5,000 square feet. I only want 2,000 square feet. No, that's the amount that they're selling, okay? And that's the amount that you pay for it. Okay, so but Bitcoin, you have the opportunity, okay, to purchase any amount that you want. Okay, so you don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. So don't let the price that you see here, okay, scare you away from purchasing Bitcoin, because that's what it did with me years ago. And as I speak to persons, that's the first thing that that they will say. Well, Chris, I can't buy one of them. Look at the price. I mean, we explain to get that kind of money from, right? Okay, and then I have to explain to them, no, but I want to see Bitcoin as, and the price that you're seeing here as just the exchange rate for the currency, right? So just as the exchange rate, now you want to be able to purchase Bitcoin. That means you can buy the Bitcoin at any amount. So let's look at a dollar. A dollar has, a single dollar can be broken down into fractions, and the smallest fractions within a dollar, okay, is 1 cent. So it takes which is 100 cents to make up a dollar. It takes 10 cent pieces to make up a dollar. It takes 25 cents pieces to make the dollar. It takes 4 quarters to make up a dollar. So therefore, you can break down that dollar. You say, like, I don't want the whole dollar. I only want half of a dollar. That's 50 cents. I only want a tenth of a dollar. That's 10 cents. All right. A hundredth of a dollar. That's 1 cent. All right. So therefore, you can break down a dollar like that. The same thing for Bitcoin. You can say, well, I can't afford a full Bitcoin, but I only want a tenth of a Bitcoin. I only want a half of a Bitcoin, a quarter of a Bitcoin. All right. I only want an eighth of a Bitcoin, a hundredth of a Bitcoin. You can break it down. So therefore, you can then do what? Invest $10, $100, $1,000, whatever you can afford, okay, in the currency. And that's what gives you access to the currency. And because that gives you access to the currency, guys, that allow every single person to be able to own a bit of the coin. All right. Hence, we use the word Bitcoin. So therefore, persons are able to earn a bit of the coin because they can buy into the currency at whatever they can afford. Okay. All right. So now that we have a clear understanding, okay, about this digital asset called Bitcoin, guys, it's a legal tender. Bitcoin is not a scam. Bitcoin is a currency. All right. And I'm going to answer these questions, in my presentation, because it will help persons as you go out and you start to talk to persons, and first thing someone might say to you, oh man, I hear about that. That's a scam. Okay. So therefore, this will help you even to explain it to persons. And that's why you're here. You're here to be what? Educated. Okay. If I had someone to educate me earlier, of course, I would have got involved in the currency a lot sooner. So therefore, I say, as my responsibility, now that I'm educated about it, to what? Educate other persons. And I also want you to see the same, now that you become educated about the currency, educate your family and your friends as well, okay, about it. So when someone says to you that Bitcoin is a scam, you got to understand that Bitcoin is a currency similar to the US dollar, the Barbados dollar, the EC, okay, the pound, all right? So Bitcoin is a digital currency, whereas the other currencies are fiat currencies. All right, so fiat is your paper dollars. Bitcoin is a digital dollar. All right, now let's look at it this way. Now, have the US dollar been used in scam activity? Have the Barbados dollar have been used in scam activity? Have all currencies that we know of have been used in scam activity? Oh, yes. But does it make the currency a scam? Okay. No, because the currency and what people do are two different things. The currency and what people do are two different things. Okay. So if someone take it and use it for evil or something bad, doesn't mean that the currency itself is bad. All right. So no one go wrong saying that, our Beijing dollar is a scam. Okay. And we know a lot of persons have been defrauded out of their money. All right. And this is the same thing that you must understand with Bitcoin. So therefore, it's just another currency, and people, whether people use it for good or bad, they do it with every other currency as well. All right. Okay. So understand that Bitcoin is a currency. So you earning this currency, you determine now what you're gonna do with it. All right. Okay. All right. So let's go straight now into our PowerPoint presentation. Okay. All right. Once again, I want to welcome everyone. Those persons who are now joining us, we welcome you. All right. My name is Christopher Brain. Guys, I'm the little shot that keeps on shooting. And I've been involved in cryptocurrency for the past 5-6 years. And I actually got involved in crypto because I made a decision to get my business, around a health and nutritional business. And I made a decision to actually to get my business online, trying to develop an online presence. Back then we hear, if you don't have a .com next to your name, you're going to be missing a lot of business. So therefore, I wanted to actually get my products and services out to the outer world rather than just marketing to persons here in Barbados. And therefore I start to develop an online presence. And by being online and looking at advertising and so on, therefore Bitcoin was advertised to me online. And actually, when I saw Bitcoin, I did not pay attention to it. I just didn't think it was anything valuable looking at, ignored it totally. When it came to my attention again, Bitcoin was roughly at the price of $267. And they sell it most persons. That's too high. And why would I want to buy something like that I cannot even spend and buy anything in the real world? So I saw Bitcoin like monopoly money. Monopoly money you play in the game, and outside the game, no value, has no benefit. Okay. So I saw internet money, no value in the real world. Okay. Therefore, when I saw Bitcoin again on my radar, Bitcoin was actually at the price of 900 to 1,000 US dollars. And that time, that's when I realized also that companies were taking it as a form of payment. You can do little tasks, view ads online, and earn bit of the coin. Okay, those are called Satoshis. All right. And that's when I start to dabble into it. And then I start getting more interested in it when I started with online investments where I can actually invest Bitcoin and get a return. Also, back then too, Barbados also had a business called Bit. It's still in operation, but they don't do the Bitcoin exchange anymore. But we could have actually go into that establishment. It was all central bank approved. Yeah, all central bank approved. Okay, so I mean, I said to the person, this company operated here in Barbados, central bank approved operation where persons could have come in like any bank, okay, and exchange your Barbados dollars for Bitcoin. So if the currency was a scam, you don't think how could it even be attached to the central bank approving it and treat it like ordinary currency? All right. So therefore, we were able to do that where we could go in and purchase our Bitcoin. And also, if you have Bitcoin, we can sell it back and get Barbados dollars for it. Okay, so that's one thing. So I then start to realize, okay, so if I actually have this currency, I can actually cash it out and I got involved in investing. And through my investing, guys, through my investing in Bitcoin, I didn't even buy a full Bitcoin at the time. Then I started to buy more than one Bitcoin eventually. But I invested in a company, and this company allowed me to earn 27 Bitcoins. And here's a screenshot of my digital wallet, my Bitcoin wallet. Now, I'm sharing here with you, I earned 27 Bitcoins, and I would have cashed those Bitcoins out, over time, not the same time, but over a period of time. Now, here is a screenshot when I cashed out 3.95 Bitcoins. This was in June the 11th, 2017. All right. The value, guys, when I cashed it out was 11,608 US dollars. That's a lot of money back then. Okay. And I take the opportunity. Okay. Now, with the value of Bitcoin, okay, when I did this screenshot here on the right, okay, Bitcoin is roughly around $58,000. Bitcoin right now is 63. But when I did this screenshot here, guys, Bitcoin, okay, those 3.95 Bitcoins now have a value of $223,285.60. Now, I don't know about you guys. I mean, I would prefer the 223,000 as opposed to just $11,000. Yeah. And this is what I'm saying, guys. Back then when I was earning this Bitcoin, I had no idea that Bitcoin had a cycle. I had no idea that but even though I know it was a limited asset, that really didn't ring a bell to me. All right. I had the knowledge I have now, okay, for the asset, I didn't have back then. That's the long and short of the story. All right. And therefore, if I had kept those 27 Bitcoins, today's value is over $3 million. All right, over $3 million. So therefore, I'm saying to persons, okay, now understand that you're going to be earning this asset. Okay, you're going to start by buying some first, but you're going to be earning this asset. Okay, and you're going to be earning more of it on a daily basis. Now, if you earn more of this on a daily basis, I'm saying to persons, okay, don't be too quick like myself back then in 2017, not understanding where Bitcoin is going and cash out this asset. Because even though you're going to get some gains, there are much bigger gains to gain, okay, further down the road. So I want you to treat this asset as a long-term investment. Okay, you're holding on to it just like a piece of land. You don't buy it today and sell it tomorrow. All right, it's something you hold on. Sometimes you even keep it in your family for generations, and you want you to see this similar. Guys, I don't know how much I can stress that. I want you to see this similar, see this asset similar, because Bitcoin, guys, let me explain to you. Bitcoin is a digital asset. It is like digital gold. And we all know the top companies right now in the world, Tesla, Amazon, Facebook, all those companies, Google, all right? They actually invest in gold. Why do they do that? They do that because gold is one of the commodities that protects them from inflation. And the video I just shared with you would have explained to you what inflation is. Okay. So therefore, when companies own billions of dollars, it's so important that they protect their wealth. And the only way they can do that, instead of keeping it in fiat currency, instead of keeping it in a bank, okay, they move it into gold. That's why they have gold reserves, right? Most of their money is in gold, because long term, okay, their wealth then increases, because we all know gold price goes up, it does not go back. So you go 5 years ago back, 5 years ago, you go 10 years back, okay, gold will never be, you understand, sell higher than where it's selling now. Right now, gold is selling higher now than when it was selling 5, 10 years ago. All right. So therefore, we have a asset that is constantly going up in value. Same thing with Bitcoin. So therefore, since the world now is now moving to this digital age, and we have everything going digital, it means that there have to be a currency that will head up that digital reserve. And Bitcoin, before, it used to be gold. So that's why we have a gold reserve. But now we're moving away from the physical and we're doing things digital. So Bitcoin will replace that physical gold. And now, okay, that's where their money are going into. And that's where we're seeing, and that's what's been happening right now. Okay. So we have all these top companies now doing what? Buying Bitcoin. These companies are buying Bitcoin. They're putting billions of dollars, not millions, billions of dollars, okay, into Bitcoin. All right. Bitcoin just hit its all-time market cap, okay, of over 1.3 trillion dollars. Now just think about it. That's a lot of money. Now where that money comes from? It certainly doesn't come from the average Joe. All right, it has to be coming from top companies and billionaires and millionaires, putting them now doing what? Diverting their assets, diverting their money, diverting their wealth into that asset. All right. So one thing that I've learned, guys, is that when it comes to the wealthy, you don't listen to what they're saying. Okay. You look at what they're doing. All right. And if you're looking at what they're doing, then you understand what's really going on. And that's the direction you should go. Because if they're these are the guys who know what's going on in the economy. All right. And therefore, I'm saying the average Joe will always get caught with the inflation. And that means your little money that you have in the bank, because that's the only place that you know where to save it. That's the only place you know where to put it. All right. Unless you want to keep it home under your mattress. And even if you keep it under your mattress, even if you keep it on you, it still doesn't protect it from inflation. All right. If as long as you keep it in fiat currency, you are exposed, okay, and you will be affected by inflation. All right. We all know that. All right. Go to the supermarket and for sure that spells it out pretty clear. Okay. So this is where I then start to realize, whoa, I really made a big error here. I should have actually held on to my Bitcoin, because we're talking a commodity and an asset that's limited. It's limited. There are only 21 million Bitcoins. So if there are 21 million Bitcoins, there's over 7 billion people. Whoa, let's think about it. Can all 7 billion persons around the world own a Bitcoin, even if they can afford it? Let's bring back Bitcoin to 1 cent. 21 million, each one costs 1 cent. All right. Can everyone run out and buy one? Nope, because they're not enough. Okay. And that's the reality of this. When that really sinking, then you realize when you own this asset, you then fall into a very small percentage of the world population that have this asset. Before, with a growing demand for it, but yet still there's a limited supply. Okay, so Bitcoin is a digital asset, and it's also a cryptocurrency. All right. So when it says digital, that means you can't touch it, you can't hold it, but you can also do what? Convert the Bitcoin back into the physical currency. I want you to see Bitcoin in a similar sense of, okay, you can download a book, okay, and you can read that book on your device, right? And how you're doing that? Because the technology is digital, that allows you to read a book on your device without having the physical book in your hand. We're seeing persons, doing the same thing now with the Bible. They don't walk with the Bible anymore. They have all everything on the app on the phone. All right. So if you want to have that book now, okay, back into the physical, you can do what? Attach it your device to a printer and you can print out the physical book. So the same thing, Bitcoin can move from digital back to the physical. Your money in the bank, okay, is in the bank. And when you have that debit card or that credit card, that is the same form of digital money because it allows you to keep the money in the bank without you having to walk with the physical money and you're able to access the digital money through the ATM. And it brings it from the ATM from a digital format into a physical format. All right. So Bitcoin has those characteristics to it. It's digital and it's also physical. But one of the benefits of Bitcoin, okay, is that it goes up in value. Now, the money that you might consider digital in the bank, okay, even though you have the credit card or the debit card that you can access it in a digital format, that does not increase in value. So therefore, digital money is not necessarily cryptocurrency. All right. So when the government issue a digital dollar, all the governments around the world get right to issue the digital dollar. It's not a cryptocurrency. It is just a digital dollar. That means it still remains fixed. A dollar, okay, in a digital and a dollar in paper money is still a dollar, okay? So these are the things that you need to understand as well. Okay, so let's look at the 3 areas, okay, why you would need Bitcoin. One, because it's the best way to start saving your money, guys. If the rich can see the importance of start saving the money this way, therefore, of course, we should know. As I say, don't listen to what they say, do what they do. Okay, what they're doing right now, they're what? They're moving their money into this asset, into this currency. Okay, so why should you not do it? I'm doing it. You understand? I learned that and I start to do it. So therefore, and I'm being honest, I have one bank account now, okay, and that only has what? A debit card attached to it. And the reason for that is in case I need to buy anything online, okay, I have that Visa debit attached to it. So that no more bank account anymore. All right. Close all of them down. Had 3 at the same bank for years. Close all of them down. Move my money where? Into digital, into Bitcoin in particular. All right, so Bitcoin is the best way to move your money into and save it because it's more beneficial to you. Why would I want to save my money in a system, okay, that where my money is losing value when I can put it in a system or in another currency where it's increasing in value? All right, so it's therefore it's more beneficial to you. Makes sense. Sorry, it doesn't make sense. It makes money. Okay, all right. So therefore, you can also use Bitcoin to get involved in investing. One of the best ways, guys, to be introduced into investing, where you're putting your money to work for you, is to bring it into Bitcoin, into cryptocurrency. Also, you can use Bitcoin just like any other currency. You can use it online to buy goods and services online. So therefore, it's also a transactional currency like ordinary money. Okay, so therefore, these are the 3 major benefits to Bitcoin. Okay, now how do you store your Bitcoin? First, you need to go and download a wallet. So if you haven't done that as yet, I encourage every person here to get themselves a digital wallet. That's the first step. Get the wallet, go move around in it, see how it operates. You don't have to have any Bitcoin in it yet, but go ahead, download it, go to the App Store or the Play Store and go and look for blockchain. Okay, blockchain app, blockchain wallet. Okay, and download the wallet. The person who invited you will actually point you to the right one to download. Okay, or you can go directly to blockchain, www.blockchain.com and download, and sign up to the web version. So you have the app version, you have the web version. Okay, in case you say to yourself, my phone don't have enough space right now, but I still want the wallet, you can go ahead and register online. Okay, now Bitcoin cannot be stored in the bank, in your traditional bank account or anything like that. So you cannot go to your bank and ask them to open an account because you have some crypto coming to you. Okay, no, it's saved in your device, your phone, your laptop, your iPad. Okay, your device is where you actually save your Bitcoins. Okay, so therefore the currency is always in your possession. The currency is always in your possession. Okay, you're the one who be now becoming what? Your own bank. So you dictate when you want to receive, you dictate when you want to send it out. You control the whole aspect of how the currency move. That's entirely up to you. Also, the security of your money is also entirely up to you. So therefore, when you set it up, make sure you write down your passwords, your PIN, okay? Store all that independently off of your phone. Do not leave it to memory neither. I beg of you, do not leave it to memory. Just last night, I got so excited. And those folks who heard me last night can tell. I got so excited. A friend of mine from way back in 2017 had some Bitcoin, and she forgot all about it. And when I asked about it, she tell me, well, she think that book that she had the password and everything, she threw it away. So thank God she was able to access it last night and let me know and send me the screenshot. And wow, I was excited because the money that she has in there, she had no idea. No idea that she had that kind of money sitting in that wallet because Bitcoin have gone up tremendously. Okay. And we are talking, just having, no more than $50 in that wallet back then to now having over 2,000 US dollars in that wallet. Okay. And thank God that she was able to get in there. I was so excited for her, man. Jumped for joy. All right. And that's how I feel because guys, this is my mission here is what? Educate persons about this digital asset because I want to see persons benefiting from it. Okay. Accumulate it and benefit from it, guys, because we're talking something that is gonna do what? It's gonna bring generational wealth to you. This is a currency that you can benefit from for your whole lifetime from the interest generated from it. And then you can pass on the asset to your children, your grandchildren. They can benefit from it for their whole lifetime and they can pass it on to their children. So we're talking generational wealth. You guys know persons who actually were born into wealth. I mean, have families that, I mean, even if you don't know them, you've heard about them, right? Who have born into wealth, okay? The wealth that their family left for them, okay? Have benefited them their whole lifetime. And guess what? They can't even spend all of it. They can't even get rid of it. Okay, and totally. And therefore, what? They pass it on to the next generation. And this is what I'm saying to you. This is this kind of asset. And guess what? This was never available to the average Joe before. Never to have this kind of generational wealth before. All right. And reason for that, guys, because we're living in a time, the Bible is being fulfilled right here, as I can say it. I can see it right now. It is being fulfilled. The Bible talk about the time when they will have what? A wealth transfer. And that wealth transfer is about to happen. That means it's going, this wealth that is taking place right now is going, okay, from out of persons who had no wealth at all, okay, into their hands, okay, into their possession. And you have the opportunity to participate in that as well. Okay, so let's look at Bitcoin. Let me just give you a little history on Bitcoin so you get an idea. Okay, now the first Bitcoin was mined back in 2009. Okay, so therefore the first Bitcoin was created. They used computers to create Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin was created back into the very first one was mined back in 2009 at a price on 1 US cent when Bitcoin first came out. 1 US cent. Wow, wow. So can you imagine if you had the opportunity to buy one Bitcoin now, how much would you purchase? Knowing, okay, if you had the opportunity to buy one Bitcoin at 1 cent, go back, take you back, and you have the opportunity to buy Bitcoin at 1 cent, knowing, okay, that in 2021, a Bitcoin would be 63,000 US dollars. Would you only buy one at 1 cent? Would you only buy 10? Would you only buy 100? I'm certain, guys, if you're like me, you try to buy as much as you can. Okay, and store them up and wait till 2021 comes. All right. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, there are only 21 million Bitcoins ever that can be mined. So far to date in circulation that have already been mined is 18 million. All right. Now, the Bitcoin protocol has a system built into it called a halving. So this event takes place every 4 years. Every 4 years, we can expect the supply that comes in, the amount of Bitcoin that are mined per day, all right, to be cut in half. Every 4 years, this event takes place. So therefore, we had the halving was in 2012, the next one was in 2016, and the last one was in 2020. See, they are 4 years apart. All right. Now, right now we are 900 Bitcoins that can be mined per day. Even if we add 10,000, a million more miners, okay, to mine Bitcoin, they will all still be able to collectively mine in total 900, no more. All that will happen is that will make the network more secure by adding more miners. All right. Okay. Now, so let me explain to you that this event, okay, or this whole system of how the Bitcoin works, okay, is designed that every 4 years, okay, the Bitcoin price will go up in value. Every 4 years, that's gonna guarantee you then increase on the asset. Now, if you have an asset, you know you have a kind of guarantee that it will increase every 4 years. All right, would you purchase that asset? How many persons have been putting their money in the bank or the credit union more than 4 years? There's no guarantee for you even to get interest. And you put it there. But here you have an asset now that you can do what? Saving it, and you have a guarantee that every 4 years you will see an increase in value. Okay, so let's look at this increase that we're talking about. Okay, so let's look at the last the last peak. Okay, so the last halving was in 2020. All right, but let's go back to the previous one. All right, because that's the one that I know of, and that's the one that I could explain to you even better. Okay, so 2016 was the halving. 2017, Bitcoin reached its all-time high. So that means a year after every halving, we get Bitcoin going to its all-time high. All right, that's the highest price it would ever sell. Okay, since its inception. The price Bitcoin sold for, okay, reached in 2017 after the halving in 2016 was 19,800. Okay, so that was the all-time high back then. Now we had the halving in 2020. A year after the halving, again, it will be also another all-time high. That's this year, guys. That's this year. Where did Bitcoin start this year at? Bitcoin started this year at 29,000. Now remember, in 2017, it was at 19. So between 2017, okay, and 2020, you see the increase in value, all right? Increase in value. And also, guys, we have 2021, we can reach another all-time high. We're already at 63,000. It started the year at 29, okay? So it started the year at 29. Now let's look at the projection for this year. Projection for this year, guys, roughly $350,000 to $500,000 for one Bitcoin. So that's what I'm saying to persons. You're gonna earn this asset now, okay, but don't cash it out too early. All right, accumulate it, and you can probably take some profits a little later down in the year. All right, but key thing is to also hold the asset, and you can actually benefit from the interest on the asset. Okay, so there are well over 5,000 different cryptocurrencies on the market, but Bitcoin had them all. All right, Bitcoin is the mother to all crypto. That means you can use Bitcoin to buy all other cryptocurrencies as well. Okay, so we have Ethan who started saving some money in Bitcoin, and we have Anne who invested. So therefore, two persons who benefit from Bitcoin, but in two different areas. One benefit from saving their money in Bitcoin, and the other person benefit from investing their Bitcoin. So Ethan saved how much? 25 US dollars. That's all he did, guys. He didn't add any more to it. So he didn't even say, well, let me add on $25 every month. No, he just put $25, save it and forget it. And because it's an asset, I tell you that go up over time, okay? Therefore, in 2019, that's 2 years, 2017, 2018, 2019, he decided he wanted to cash it out. He had 459 US dollars worth. All right, he didn't have more Bitcoin that he put on the same amount, but it had gone up in value. So that's one of the beautiful things of saving your money in the currency. Put your money where it will benefit you most. Okay, and on the other hand, what she did, she bought a tenth of a Bitcoin, but she also invested it. Same company that I invested with, she invested because I did recommend to her, and she earned herself 13 Bitcoins, therefore was able to cash out 35,000 US dollars. Okay, so that's the benefit of actually investing in Bitcoin and also saving Bitcoin. Two benefits, guys. You can take advantage of both and how we're able to do that. But when we move our money into Bitcoin, which is called crypto, because crypto, guys, is the currency of the future. Now you can put that crypto to work. It's so important that we understand that money is meant to be worked. And the banks does that very well with our money. We put our money in the bank and the bank put it to work. Okay, our money is not sitting there just waiting for us to come back for it. No, no, no. The bank put it to work. It's being traded on the stock exchange. It's being given out in loans. The bank made profit on it. Okay, so therefore, what if you had the opportunity to put all our money to work? And I'm saying to persons, if you already work 40 to 45 years of your life, you're getting ready to retire, or if you already retire, okay, do you have to go back to work, or do you have your money working for you? You better believe me, guys. You better believe what I'm saying to you, that as long as you have to work, okay, that means your money is not working. Because as long as your money working, your money can actually retire you so that you don't have to work. Now I'm saying to persons, which one would you prefer? Would you prefer to continue working for money or have your money work for you? All right. And this is why we have to educate ourselves and pass on this financial education to our children, because they're coming up in the system, okay, that have kept us slaves our whole lives. That means we're slaves to our jobs. We are slaves to our business. We're doing what? Home to work, home to work, home to work, 40, 45 years of our life. Okay, we exchange our time for our money. And now it's time, guys, that we understand that we can turn that around, okay, and do what? Start to put that money to work. Let your money go to work. And now you can do what? Go enjoy your life with your friends and family. Okay, so the Patern Group International, they're the company that we partnered with. And what did they do? They actually trade our Bitcoin. So they operate and do the same thing the banks do, but now there's a benefit for us, okay? Because they allow us to put our money to work. So they teach us how to put our money to work. We don't have to know anything about trading. We don't have to know anything about charts and how to read graph and candles, none of that. Okay, the company, they're professionals, they're good at what they do, and they trade our Bitcoin. Okay, so the head of the company is the founder and CEO, Mr. Harvey Palafox. He's the former president and co-founder of AI Trades Global, the president and CEO of AI Trades the Philippines. He was born in the Philippines, raised in America. He lived there for 43 years. Guys, he's a family man, and he's a professional multi-level marketer for 16 years. Through the Patron Group, his company have helped 21 persons become multi-millionaires already. Okay, so they're very good at what they do. They have offices already established in Estonia, in the United Kingdom, in the Philippines, in Singapore, and now also in the United States in Las Vegas. The president of the PGI Global, Helen Graham. Vice President and Chief Operation Officer, Mr. Mark Davis. Okay, so let's look at the line of products that the company carry. Now, the main part the company do is Bitcoin trading. The company do not sell Bitcoin, guys. So therefore, get back to the person who invited you, and that person will share with you how we get our Bitcoin. So the first thing you want to do then is convert some of your fiat money, your paper money, into Bitcoin. And then when you acquire the Bitcoin, then you can become part of the company. Now you can put that Bitcoin to work. Okay, so some of the products that they carry, they have crypto ATM machines that are going out all across the world. Guys, these are the terminals that you will be able to put your, scan with your cell phone, because don't forget, your Bitcoin will be on your phone, all right? That app is on the phone, and that allow you to scan through the ATM machine, and you can do what? Buy Bitcoin there and also sell your Bitcoin back to physical dollars. Now, we also have a Bitcoin trading platform. You also have a blockchain education. This is where a person can learn more about how Bitcoin functions, okay, how it was developed. We also have health and wellness products that you can purchase using your Bitcoin. Also debit cards, guys, that you can receive your earnings, okay, with the company, so you can access it through the ATM machine. Okay, so before we actually talk money and our compensation plan, we need to read you this disclaimer. All right, so our disclaimer, guys, we are authorized cryptocurrency trading company. We are by no means a financial advisor. All right, we suggest you always consult your financial advisor if you have one. We strongly recommend you do your own due diligence, read the terms and conditions, and understand them. We believe that once you do, you will see what we see. And guys, remember, the company and myself, okay, are offering you no financial advice. Okay, so let's look at the company's compensation plan and how it works. Okay, so to become part of the company, part of the team, guys, as I mentioned, you acquire your Bitcoin first. And now when you have your Bitcoin, you can purchase these packages here, okay, in Bitcoin. So I'll give you the dollar value, all right, but the currency will be Bitcoin. You have a silver package, a gold package, a platinum package, a titanium package. Under the silver package, you can purchase $100 worth in Bitcoin, $400, $600 worth in Bitcoin. Under the gold package, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 worth in Bitcoin. Under the platinum, you can purchase a package for $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 worth in Bitcoin. Under the titanium package, you can purchase $500,000 worth in Bitcoin without any limit. Now, regardless if you're purchasing a 100 package or a $500,000 package, all packages come with a software fee of $19, okay, added to the cost. All right, now also you have your daily returns. So this is now the returns now you can get now for doing what? Investing your crypto and putting it to work. Now your crypto working, this is what your crypto is going to be producing for you. These are the returns, okay, that your money is going to bring back in for you on a daily basis. Now it starts from 0.5 to 3% per day. Yes, you heard me right. Per day, not per week, per month, not per annum, per day. All right, so let's excuse me, let's break it down so you have a better understanding how you actually get this earnings. Okay, so now you start, let's look at the 100 package. You start with a 100 package. The company is going to give you an average, okay, between 0.5 to 3%. On most days, you can get 1%. So we're going to work with the 1%. Okay. Now 1% per day, guys, with $100, that's $1 per day. Can you imagine you having $100 in the bank and the bank give you $1 per day on it every day? $1 per day you will earn until you get back $200. When you got back $200, the company have honored the agreement. The agreement with you is that they double your money. Okay, so therefore they have double your $100. It now becomes what? $200. Now you can do what? Create another agreement, or you can do also another thing that we encourage persons to do. Don't sit and wait 200 days to get $100. You know, double. You already have the $100 in already. It's doubling. Add more. Okay, add more and continue to build up your account. Now you can go ahead now and add $1,000 package. $1,000 package will give you $10 a day. $10 a day. That means in 200 days you have $2,000. You invest in $2,000 again. Guess what? That's $20 a day. In 200 days you have $4,000. So therefore, within 1 year, you've actually tripled your money. Triple your money, not double it, triple it, because you start with 1,000 and you end the year with what? 4,000. That means that's $3,000 profit. Okay, so this is the beauty, guys, with how you earn and put your money to work in PGI. Of course, if you do a bigger package, the 10,000 will give you in a year 40,000. 100,000 package will give you 400,000 in a year. All right, so guys, what I'm gonna say to you here is that every person, when you join PGI, when you become a member of the company, there's no membership fee, there's no monthly subscription. So you don't have to worry that you have to pay a monthly subscription or a membership fee to join. All right. Every person join PGI totally free. You just go ahead and then purchase your package. So a person can join PGI, but when you join a PGI, you have to activate a package. That's the only requirement, that you have to activate a package. All right. So you must have an active package, and the minimum is $100 package. All right. So every person can earn the returns on their money regardless of whether they refer anyone or not. So the returns here that I explained has nothing to do with you referring anyone. You do not have to, let me repeat, you do not have to refer anyone to get those gains on a daily basis. That is entirely up to you and the company due to the agreement. Okay. And that agreement, when you purchase that package, that is an agreement between you and the company. So when I purchase my package, it's an agreement between me and the company honoring the agreement with me. All right. Okay. So now let's look at those persons like myself who want to go and share it with others, because we do believe we've come across a great opportunity, all right, that our family and friends can benefit from. So we don't want to keep it a secret. We decide to share it. And this is what we can earn when we share the opportunity. So every person that you share the opportunity with, guys, you're going to earn yourself a referral bonus of 6%. So a person buy a $100 package, you get what? $6, 6%. They buy a 1,000 package, you get 6%, that's $60. Okay. They buy a $10,000 package, you get 6%, that's what? $600. All right. So guys, just understand that your referral commission base starts at 6%. But if you refer 2 persons and you do it within your first 30 days, you now will increase your 6%, additional 2%. So that 2% is called a 2% boost up. Okay. And now your referral earnings now move from 6 to 8%. Okay. I think that's pretty clear. Everybody should understand that. Okay. Now, do you need to get a referral commission? From time you sponsor a person, you get the referral commission. All right. What you get now when you refer 2 persons is an additional 2%. So that 2 persons, guys, allow you to do what? Earn 2% boost up. And that's what we all after. Maximize the earnings. Don't let this 2% go back to the company. Go take advantage of it. Bring your 2 persons in within the first 30 days. And now you can get 8%. All right. Now, remember, guys, you can refer as many persons as you want, but you only need 2 to qualify for the boost up. The next bonus is called the binary bonus. And the binary bonus only kicks in when you have 2 persons. So can you earn from the binary bonus without having 2 persons? No, you cannot. All right. You can only earn from the binary bonus by having 2. One must be on the left and one must be on the right. And the binary bonus starts out at 8%. Okay. It's paid 8% in binary bonus. So therefore, if you would have qualified for the 2% boost up, your 8% will now increase to 10%. If you did not qualify for the 2% boost up, then you will only get 8%. Okay, bear that in mind. Okay, now let's explain how the binary works. Now, as I mentioned, binary basically means 2. You have 1 person on the left and 1 on the right. The person that referred you, they send you a link, and that link will either have left side or right side. Same thing. When you sign it, you can get a link, And now you have two links, one that you would use to send to one person for the left and the other one for the right. All right, it's very simple and straightforward. Okay, now as you start to build your binary, your two persons gonna do what? Also qualify for their binary and also qualify for their boost up. So therefore, they're gonna go and bring in two persons as well, so that they get their additional 2%. Don't let that 30 days pass, guys. Encourage your two persons to go after their 2% as well. So let's look at this example. You bring in two persons, your two persons refer two persons, and their two persons join. Now you have four underneath those two persons. The four persons also sign up there too. You have 8 underneath underneath those four persons. The 8 persons, okay, sign up there too. So 8 by 2 is 16. The 16 persons sign up there too. 16 by 2 is 32. Okay, and this can keep on going and going. Everybody doing what? Referring there too. All right. Also remember, you can refer more than 2. Any additional persons you refer will spill down to the persons who don't have, or spill down to persons underneath, all right? But you will still be the referred, okay, person who referred them, and you will still get your referred bonus and your binary bonus. Okay, so let's look at and break this down as far as what kind of money you can earn from building your binary. Excuse me. Okay, so in this example here, as I mentioned, it's an example. It could work with 10, it could work with 15, it can work with 100. All right. The more persons in your binary, it means the more money you make. Okay. So let's look at this example here. We have the right side having 35 persons accumulated this on the right, and the left side have 25 persons. Now, your right side, the side that has the most other persons or amount of business, that side will become your accumulated side. That means you do not get paid on that side. All the business that come in would accumulate. The side now that have the least, okay, you will get paid out on that side. So let's look at the side that have 25. That's over to your left. So the 25 persons here on the left, you're going to earn 10% because you qualify for your 2% boost up. So you're going to earn 10%, okay, on all the volume that comes in on this side. So let's look at this example. 25 persons join with a $100 package. This will earn you $250. The 25 persons move up to a $400 package. This will earn you 1,000 US. The 25 persons move up to a 600 package. Excuse me. This will earn you 1,500 US. The 25 persons move up to 1,000 package. This will also earn you 2,500 US dollars. Now, guys, your 25 persons are doing what? Moving up. But guess also what's happening? You are also moving up. And how are you able to move up? Because as you earn this commission, you take it and move up. The same thing happening with these 25 persons. As they earn their commission, they're moving up. Also, you can do what? Buy up to the next level. So you don't have to wait till you earn it. You can also buy it up to the next level as well. The whole idea is to do what? Keep moving up and keep increasing your packages so that you keep compounding. Guys, the goal is to compound. I'm going to share with you how you can actually earn 1 Bitcoin just through compounding. And if you earn 1 Bitcoin, just think about it. And Bitcoin go to $350,000 by the end of the year. And you can earn 1 Bitcoin just by building this business and getting your commission and keep compounding. All right. It means now that that price where Bitcoin goes, all right, 350,000, that's 700,000 Barbados dollars. Can you work for that kind of money in that short space of time? All right. If you can, that's great. But most of us can't. Or even if you work every day, save every penny between now and the end of the year, can you save almost $1 million, 700,000 Barbados dollars? Not. I can't do it, certainly. So this is the only option I have. So I'm taking it. All right. Okay, so let's look at it. Guys, if you take this same earnings and you actually would have reinvested it, that's 5,250 that you earned so far. You invested it. PGI is good at doing what? Doubling your money. So PGI will double it. Okay. And now you have 10,500. If you take that 10,500 and you reinvest it, it now it's double again. You get 21,000. If you take the 21,000 and reinvest it, you get it double again. You get 42,000. If you take the 42,000 and reinvest it, it double again, becomes 84,000. All right. So you see how you can actually earn yourself 1 Bitcoin by compounding. And guys, that's money. As I tell you, you can decide I own 1 Bitcoin, and you can decide all right, from this 1 Bitcoin, or when I have $10,000 invested, when I have $5,000 invested, your choice. I will keep my account at that level and just do what? Draw on the interest, and I can actually live off the interest and just keep reinvesting, okay, the principal. that means keeping the amount of Bitcoin that you want to keep. All right, because there have to come a point that you say, okay, I want to at least keep this amount of Bitcoin, because of course I know we all have expenses, living expenses and things that we want to do. So therefore you will want to cash out, but you have to make a decision, how much Bitcoin am I willing to sell off and how much I'm willing to keep. All right. And the one that you want to keep, that's the one that you don't sell, but you do what? You earn the interest off of that one. And you use that interest. That's why you can live off of that. And guess what? Of course, as I said, then you can pass on those Bitcoins over to your children and teach them to do the same thing as well. All right. So get back in touch with the person who invited you this evening, excuse me. And that person for sure will be willing to share more information with you on how to get started, guys. We are a family here. PGI is about saving lives, changing lives all over the world. And we know for a fact, okay, that their lives being changed right here in our country. All right, so let me unmute and answer any quick questions anyone may have. And at the same time, those persons who have new persons will go to you where you can introduce your new guest this evening. So the mic is now unmuted, guys. If this person have a question, I'm open up. I'm here available to answer your questions this evening. All right, any questions? Your mic is unmute and you can go ahead and unmute yourself, okay, and ask your question, whether it be pertaining to the compensation plan, to the company, all right, to Bitcoin. Any questions you have that you're not certain about or you want more clarification on, I'm here. All right. Okay. All right. So in the meantime, for those persons who have questions, all right, let's go right into persons who are, any member that is here that have a guest that you want to introduce, you can go ahead and introduce your guest, and let's give them, you know, some recognition for being here. We thank them for coming. All right, so we don't have any guests this evening. All members.
Hey, Chris.
Yes. Hey,
Good
hey,
evening.
Vernon. Hey, Vernon. Good evening.
Yeah, Andrea Rose is on.
Hey, Andre Rose. Hey, Andre. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. All right. So
good to have you, Andre.
Hey,
okay.
welcome.
So let's welcome Andrea, guys. Let's give Andrea a shout out. Thank him for being here, taking
Hey,
time
welcome, Andrea.
to be
Thanks
here.
for being welcome here.
Thank you very much. I feel very loved.
Okay. All right, Andrea, I have a question for you. Okay, based on what you saw this evening. Okay, what's your thoughts on it? And also another question. It's a two-fold question. Have you heard about Bitcoin before? Vernon introduced you?
Yes. Well, yes, I did hear about Bitcoin before. I actually had the pleasure of doing some work career-wise for the branch in yeah, for the branch, the actual mall in Hastings.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't know about them, but in terms of going in depth about Bitcoin, because I mean the presentation was a good presentation. I like how you came from where our money comes from. That's a question that I never honestly thought about. And then you brought it all the way to cryptocurrency. I was always a bit hesitant about Bitcoin because I mean I didn't understand how it worked.
Right.
But I would say for sure your presentation did give me a lot of information on what and how and why on a lot of these things. It actually made me feel a little sorry that I didn't, you know, take the leap years ago, because I mean at the beginning of the presentation when you showed me how much one Bitcoin was, I was just like, whoa, that's me. If I could probably purchase a couple of them earlier, I would be a millionaire by now.
Oh yes, and plus you're right in the right place, because you actually were dealing with the people who actually run the exchange here.
Yeah, but I didn't know. I guess I had that the mindset of not really, you know, it didn't seem like nothing lucrative to me at the time. So
right, exactly.
I mean, I was much younger then, so I'm only like 28 now, so I was much younger back then. So I mean, my life was different back then. It was
different, yeah. Had different focus and everything, yeah.
I wasn't focusing on that kind of stuff at all, for sure.
Right, exactly. I understand. You understand clearly what you're saying. What you're saying. And this is what this is. And you're not the only one. There are a lot of persons, you know, who felt the same way. You know, they definitely didn't focus, even on cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin in particular. You know, it just passed over their head. and continue living life. I have money system that I know about. I can stick with that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we welcome you and thank you for taking time to be here. Get back in touch with Vernon and he'll share with you how to get started. Yes.
Yeah, I definitely will be looking into it because I'm not going to just sit and wait and see to regret 10 years in his future from now. Just take the risk and do it. And
Been there, done that.
yeah, I just decide if I can go in like high risk, low risk.
Right.
Obviously that would depends. I done it for sure. Though. I could tell you for sure I will be doing it. I will be trying it.
Yeah, but Vernon will show the best way to get started, and you're gonna hear from persons here tonight too. What's the best way to get started, right? So that know it's to your benefit as well. Okay, all right, wonderful. Okay, who else? All right, you're welcome. Who else you have, Vernon? Anyone else?
Chris? No, that's my only guess for the night.
Okay, all right, Granville.
KW is here.
KW.
Emily. I think she
KW been here before, yes?
Yes, she might have a guess.
Okay. Hey, KW, you have your guest on this evening? Okay. Do you know who's our guest this evening, Granville?
Oh,
okay. Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Tawana.
Okay, KW, you're going. You move back your mic. You can keep it open for a while.
Keisha.
Okay, you're Keisha?
I have to guess.
Oh, Keisha. Okay. What's your name, Keisha? And what's the next person? Kiwana, you say?
Yes, please.
Okay, but we want to welcome them, both of them. Good to have you on this evening.
Hi, Tawana. Hi, Keisha. Welcome.
Okay, and let's welcome all of them, guys.
Tawana and Keisha.
Thanks for taking the time out to be here.
Okay.
Anything that you see that you like, heard?
Okay, have anyone else? Anyone else have a guess? Okay, all right, so that's it for our guests this evening. All right, well, guys, let's go right into our...
Is Lisa or Bjorn on?
Please repeat.
Repeat, Pat.
Anthony was supposed to have some guests on, Bjorn and Lisa.
Yeah,
you're saying Lisa? We're not hearing you clearly.
Is she no Lisa?
Well,
oh, the next name?
Lisa, Bjorn, and there's another guy. I'm not sure what his name is. I'm just checking to see if he's on tonight. If you don't hear anything, perhaps they're not on.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it for our guest this evening. Okay. Guys, what we want to do here now is introduce you to some of the folks that are here that PGI is working for. These are persons who have taken the leap, right? And believe, in the information shared here with them and decided to start to put their money to work, right? So let's hear from, let's go straight into the very first person. We can go to Elvis. Elvis, could you get the ball off and get it going and share with us?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Crypto Wealth Builders presentation this evening. I'm Chris, and I say thanks for the information that you're being shared with us every night. Awesome presentation as usual. And folks, I normally target the new people in the group and the young ones. Here it is, you have the opportunity of gaining real knowledge at a young age. Because I am over 60, and I can tell that you having that privilege, please use it. Do not waste it, because had I had this knowledge 20 years earlier, I guarantee you I would have been a millionaire today. Guaranteed to that. Because I had access to a lot of money, because I just built a house, $650,000. So, then I had the money to put into crypto, and then I was able to build the house much easier. For just like everyone that you can hear speak after me tonight, I started with $100 package, and I did that in the 6th of November. I was just watching my dollar come in. I'm feeling good. But investing $1, investing $100 just to get $1 in 200 years, and didn't make sense. Knowing after working one place for 45 years, I said, well, but this ain't going to be nothing to help me. So I decided to take up some money and invest in myself for a retirement plan, because I'm almost to that, close to that age to retire right now. And I let 2 months pass before putting any more money into the program. But for January, for my birthday, I invest myself in a $500 package. And they said February is the month of love. I love myself with a $400 package. And last month, which is March, they said the month from March and on, I invest in a $1,000 package. And right now, I'm about to do another $1,000 package in the month of April. That they say for fools, well, I'm a fool, I'm going to fool myself. For this is not a paid advertisement. I'm not being paid to say this, but I'm getting paid so I can say. Because the 2 bank holidays when you always home and hoping that we're open to get paid, I got paid $20 because that's what I'm earning, $20 US a day. So I'm not trying to take it to 40 because I think it's time that I make another step, because I made 4, I have to make another step to make 5, because every step you make is a step in the right direction. Because when we get to the end of the line that we think we get to the end, there still be more room in front of us. I don't want to look back and see no one behind me. I want to see all of my family here at the side of me, because all we are going in one direction, which is forward. For the person that invites you here tonight, if they didn't love you or got feelings about you, they will not tell you nothing about this. They will keep it for themselves. They'll do the best to share it with you. No, please, go and share it with your family and go and share it with your friends. At least let it be said that you offered them an opportunity. If they did not take it, it have nothing to do with you. But do your job by offering it. And don't waste the time. Take out some of the money that you have in the bank and invest it. Even if it's just $100 package, dip your foot in the water, test it to see how hot it is or how cold it is. Do like me. I jump in with all 2 feet, but you can only jump in with 1. Take that chance. And I assure you won't regret it, because we are here to help, assist you, to make sure that you do not go in the wrong direction. And I thank you for being here, taking that time out. Chris, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share to the people my little success so far that I'm going with. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Elvis. We congratulate you on your success so far. We know that you're going to go even higher and going to take this business all up to the top. Okay, so let's go over to another person that's also excited and, seeing the business working for them. Let's go over to Pat. Pat, you're there?
Good night, everyone.
Hey,
Good night.
Pat, good night.
Good night, Pat. Good night, Pat. It's my PGI family.
We are here.
PGI to the world. To the world.
PGI to the world.
Believers are
To the world.
believers are here.
I believe.
Excited, yes, I am about this business. Up to this evening, I was talking to some people who are about to join up on behalf of Anthony, and one of the things they said was like, you two sound like a couple that I really want to meet. We haven't even actually met them as yet, right? But tonight I want to thank Chris for introducing this business to me and my husband. We joined in November, and we both got involved with the $100 package. And the thing about it, we knew nothing about the business. Those of you who are coming into the business at this time, you're even in a better position. We trusted Chris because we know that he's a person of integrity, and we just said, join us up. And there was so much we didn't know about the business. We just learned along the way, and we're still learning. And for me, $100 wasn't enough. and therefore I quickly got into investing in the $400 package. And I continue to look at ways, having recognized what an excellent opportunity we're holding in our hands. I bump it up to $1,000 package. And all now I'm thinking of ways to, and at a time when money seems to be so scarce, I'm thinking of ways to upgrade the package, because I recognize that the thing to do with this business is not just to get $100 package and stay there, but if you're going to be serious about this business, you're going to build it to continue to build a network and build your packages as well. I find what I like about the business is, and I'm able to tell people that the integrity of PGI, the solidness of the business, the fact that what they say they do, and also within 72 hours, having joined up other people, I testify to them that within 72 hours, I begin to see money in my wallet. And they too call me up very excited and say, yes, I'm beginning to see money in my wallet. There was a young man that we introduced to the business, and we said, look, start at the $100 package. He insisted that he wanted to do the $600 package. And now he recognized, looking at the business, he should have invested in the $100 package now, because where he thought he wouldn't want to build a business, now he wants to build it as well. Now, like Elvis said, to the young people who are here, you have an excellent opportunity to invest at this time. We are the ones who were taught to go to school, get a good job, save our money. We didn't hear a lot about investing. And even now, for us, it's not too late. That's why we're here to continue to invest. You giving up is for dead people. But for you young people, I want you to recognize that the world that you're waiting for to go back to normal is not going back to normal. We are indeed heading towards crypto, towards a cashless society, and you're in an excellent position through PGI begin to earn Bitcoin. And therefore, I would advise you not to let your money sit on the bank. Take a chance, take a risk. Every day you wake up and you even go on the road, that's a risk. And that's what we need to do, get hold of the box and begin to take risks, so that we change the pattern of our lives. We change what we have been taught. The new word is changing the narrative. We hear a lot about that. Don't just use it as a word, but changing the narrative means doing things differently to get different results. Like someone once said, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you will continue getting what you're getting. But when you change the script, you see such excellent results. So I want to encourage you to look at this business again. I want to encourage you to perhaps do like I did. Just take it up, run with it, and learn along the way. You're holding something excellent in your hands. Don't waste time. Jump into it, give it all you got. Even if you decide to just do the $100 package, the minute you begin to see what's happening, I guarantee you will want to do more. So I just want to encourage you. I want to thank you guys for coming, and I just want to encourage you to come with us, because we're moving on up to the top, and we won't stop. So for me, to you, PGI to the world.
To the world. To the world.
To the world. That's right. To the world, guys. That's where we're going. We're taking it to the world. And Pat, congratulations also on your success as well. Okay. Who else do we have here? Okay, so let's go over to Granville. Granville, would you like to share with us this evening?
Of course.
Here comes Mr. Sweetness.
I want to say how happy I am tonight, and as I would say that words cannot find them to express the way that I feel. Sometimes you have a feeling and you can't express it. Well, that feeling for me tonight is inexpressibly sweet. That's how I'm feeling tonight.
Yes, we get Granville.
I am feeling so inexpressibly sweet tonight, and it is all because of PGI. ever since I entered into this wonderful opportunity on the 28th day of October last year. I scrambled just to get the $119 to purchase my first $100 package. But after I saw $1, $2, $3 in my wallet, I said, nice, but still not good enough. So I ran down to my credit union and I borrowed $1,000 because at that time we had a $500 package, which is no more. And normally at Christmas time, I would borrow the same $1,000 to help me out during the Christmas period. And it would take 12 months in order to repay. But in doing so for PGI, I was able to repay it in 3 months, people. Did you hear me right? Let me repeat. I repaid it in 3 months. And it only happened because of PGI. I was then earning $6 minimum every possible day. And I started withdrawing money into my blockchain wallet. And then every week it accumulated and I put a little more with it. And then when the Bitcoin went up to $47,000, I checked my wallet and it had $906. And I was so excited that I went and put the balance and straight away bought my $1,000 package. I was now earning $16 a day, people. While people were home during COVID, not working, not knowing where the next meal would come from, I was earning $16 every possible day. Then after that, I purchased a $600 package, causing me to earn $22. And today, I am now earning $28 a day, people. $28 a day. I say again, $28 a day. $196 every week because PGI is paying me 7 days a week, including Sundays.
Way to go, brother.
Yes. Woohoo! And I'm accumulating some more money, and I'm smiling at it in my back office because I am about to purchase a $1,000 package. People, it will happen because my aim and objective and goal is to be earning just over $1,000 a month. But I'm not staying there. I'm going further because, like somebody said, I want to earn $100 a day. And trust me, PGI is going to make that possible. I'm not putting any more of my money. I compounding all the time. And that's why my money is growing. And yours could grow too. But you can't let it stay at the bank. The banks and the credit unions are taking your money, investing it, and taking all the profits for themselves and hardly giving you anything. And the little that you have on the banks are taking away from you every possible month, saying that that's to service your account. Then they take away from the $1 and $2 from the ATM machine, and they find all kinds of ways to rob you out of your money. But I want to say to you, I don't want to say that you don't have sense, but I want to say to you, learn dollars. Learn dollars and earn dollars. You know how you're going to get this do? By going to the banks and the credit unions, take out some of the money. It is your money. And if the banks can take your money and benefit from it, how much more should you not benefit from your own money and make interest for yourselves? So, like Chris said, he closed all the accounts. I closed mine too. I closed mine, and they keep the Visa debit, and that is to do overseas business. So, if you are seeing this presentation for the first time, get back to the person who invited you and tell them that you hear a blind man say that he is making $8 a day US. And that if I can do it, you that can see should be able to do it better than I am, or and that better than I can. So I want to say, Chris, tonight, fantastic presentation. You're causing people to understand what is Bitcoin, how it is mined, what is cryptocurrency, what is digital currency, and how they can trade, cost PGI to double your money. People, PGI is doubling your money all the time. Every time you buy a package, you could be assured that PGI is going to double your money. Some people have the opinion that it is a scam. PGI is not a scam. PGI is not going to run away with your money. PGI is going to give you more by doubling your money each time. So don't wait, don't hesitate. Run and get the money and come and start. Don't worry about learning. Get on board, and then you can learn afterwards. So, Chris, I want to say thank you very much for this opportunity. And I want to say to you also that when every day I look into my back office and I see what is going on there, I am smiling from ear to ear. All behind my head is smiling and everything. Huh?
Thank you, Granville.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Continue good work. You're doing very well.
I can smile behind your head, bro.
Yeah, we encourage you. You're encouraging to everyone as well.
Going all around me. Smiles going all around me.
Well done. Well done. Okay. All right. So let's go over to Fiona. Fiona, would you like to share with us this evening? Where's Mrs. Dynamite? Where are you?
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Dynamite. Blow.
She's smiling.
PGI to the world, to the world,
PGI to the world.
To the world.
Guys,
PGI to the world.
PGI to the world.
To the world, man.
Granville, I
Yes.
gotta look at my head and see a smile too. I got to tell you,
Mr. Sweet.
happiness, man. Happiness, guys.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
So, guys, we
So
are
sweet,
happy.
so sweet, people.
We are happy, guys. We are happy
Yes.
in Crypto World Builders because, guys, we are in an awesome business. You know, all of you are excited about our business. We are excited about this opportunity. We are excited to be part of an awesome company, guys. When I joined PGI on the 30th of October, guys, y'all are so lucky. Y'all have all this information to help you all to make that sound decision, that firm decision to join PGI, guys. All of us, me, Elvis, Chris, Granville, Brennan, all we jumping with both feet and had no information. None whatsoever. We took the risk, guys. You know, I joined with that $100 package, and it took me 2 months, guys. 2 months to upgrade my packages. But the reason, guys, is because of the pandemic. Like everyone else in Barbados are having a hard time with jobs and stuff. I have not worked for 2 years. And also I had the chance to change that and joining PGI and getting into cryptocurrency. Because I got into cryptocurrency with a little Ethereum and a little Trons before I got into Bitcoin. So when I made that transition to do PGI with that $150 in Bitcoin that I had, you know, it took me a little while to find money to buy another package. You know, I was seeing my dollars grow every single day. I wanted to upgrade my packages, guys, but you know, there wasn't any money. So lucky for me, you know, I had some Trons, and my good friend Granville said, Fiona, why don't you just convert your Trons to Bitcoin? You know, and lo and behold, guys, that little nudge allowed me to buy a $500 package, guys. That started earning me $6 US a day. Guys, that's an awesome feeling to actually see that you're getting paid. That was the first time I got paid in so long. Guys, whew, that was so awesome. Love PGI, guys. Love PGI. Love PGI to the world, guys. You know, and as Chris said, you start seeing your dollars earning in your back office. You know what? as much as I need a little assistance up here with money, guys, there's no money, there's no income. You know, and what I did, I am sacrificing for the greater good. I am leaving my earnings in PGI and doubling them every single time I get paid, guys. You know, and I'm compounding and compounding my earnings. And because I'm doing that, I was able to buy another package. And I bought a $400 package that would start earning me $10 a day. You know, guys, and if I had taken up my money to say, oh God, I got a bill to pay, there's no income coming. Where am I gonna get the money, guys, to put back into PGI? No, I'm gonna go through this struggle. I'm gonna struggle and struggle until I get to my goal. When I joined this business, I decided I have to have a goal. And my goal is to earn $100 a day. $100 a day. But I'm not gonna stop there, guys. I want 1,000 a day. You know, 1,000 a day, that's $100,000 package. Wow. Come on. That's $100,000 a day. That's $100,000 to get $1,000 a day. To get $1,000 a day. So you know what? I'm gonna keep compounding and compounding. So this month, another 1,000. Next month, another 1,000. June, another 1,000. That can give me $50 a day. And by the time I get to June, by the grace of God, I will be buying a 5,000 first. Then after that, I will be buying a 10. After that, I can be buying a 20. Who with me? Compound and compound and compound, guys. To the world. To the world, guys. You have to see your business as a business. You know, you have to think big. Can't think small. You have to understand that you want a better future. You know, I just don't, you gotta sacrifice for it. You gotta commit to it. You got to commit to your business. You have to check on your business. That's the only way it's gonna work. Whatever you put into your business is what you're gonna get out of it. So if you don't put in your work, don't complain when you don't get what you want. Business stands for hard work. Anytime you open a business, anytime you open a business, it takes 6 months to a year. So there's 2 years for your business to take off. You have to keep investing in you and your business. So the person that invited you here has love in their heart for you, and they want you to succeed. We want you to succeed. We want everyone to succeed. We want everyone to understand where this can take them, where it can take their family, and come and be part of an awesome company, guys. Come and join us. Come be part of PGI family. Come be part of Crypto Wealth Builders, guys. PGI to the world, to the world, to the world.
I'm with you, Fifi.
To the world.
Hey. World. Thanks, guys. Allow me to share.
Thank you, Fiona. Awesome. Right. Guys, you've heard from Fiona, and you can see, I mean, she's gradually taking you through the steps, okay, and how she has built her business, okay, from the ground up. And this is what it's all about, you know, it's being able to connect, all right, and, you know, understand that, you know, that it's anything else that you want to build and become successful, that it takes time, you know, you got to dedicate yourself to it, you got to commit to it, all right, here, and apply yourself, believe in what you are doing, all right, because when you get to know this company, when you start to open up, okay, and build a relationship with the company, then you realize not only is the company transparent, all right, but the company is also very committed to us and dedicated to us and want to see us succeed as well. So let's go over to last but not least, Vernon. Vernon, would you like to share with us this evening?
Most certainly, Chris. Pleasant good night to all.
Good night, Vernon.
Good night. Good night. First, you've gotten it all tonight. You've gotten, you know, the best presentation that you can ever, you know, come in and listen to. Chris does it very wonderfully well.
Awesome.
Yeah, yes, he makes it hard for you to say, you know, I ain't ready to do that, or, you know, to find excuses. He gives you all the reasons why you need to get started right away. And as Fiona said, we didn't have this information when we got started, but we went ahead with faith and we got started and we started to build this business and we committed to it. We started with that $100 package. And we didn't stop there, you know, we went ahead quickly and we invested in other packages. I went ahead and I got me a $500 package within the first week of starting that $100 package because I wanted to earn more. I didn't stop there. I went ahead and I invested in a $1,000 package because, guys, this is a serious business and you got to treat it that way. You can't just want to buy $100 package and just sit there and wait and hoping that, it's going to turn into more. You just got to invest in it. You got to keep inviting people to these presentations because, as I said, once you get them here, they're going to see exactly what we see and what you saw, and they will get involved. And, I didn't even stop at the 500 package. I went ahead and I invested in a $1,000 package, and currently I'm earning $22 daily. And, I'm excited because, you want to say, I'm going to be adding another package this month, another $1,000 package this month, and the next month another 1,000, and every month it will be a $1,000 package until I get to the point where I'm going to have myself a $500 package, which will be in another 2 months or so.
Awesome.
Yes. So these are things that you need to do when you get started in this business. Just keep compounding, and you will see the results, going to your back office every day like we do, and look at, your income growing and growing. And once you see all that happening in your business, it gives you the motivation and drive to go there and speak to people and get them coming to the meeting. And like I said, once you get them here, they will go ahead and do this business. And, you got the assurance knowing, as I keep telling you, that the worst thing that can happen to you is that you can get your money double. Even if you don't believe in nothing else and you just decide to try it out, that the worst thing happen, you can get double. And with that said, obviously when it's double, it gives you the encouragement and the motivation to say, well, yeah, this thing working, let me keep doing some more. So, just don't waste time. Just come on and join us, and I'm sure you wouldn't regret that at all. Chris, thanks for allowing me to share, and wonderful presentation again as usual. Back over to you, Chris.
Okay, thank you, Vernon. Awesome, guys. Thanks very much. Well done, Vernon. Continue working and continue building. This is what it's all about. You're building yourself an empire. You're building yourself a future. And don't forget, guys, it's all about generational wealth. And that's what we're creating here, generational wealth. All right. So before we bring our presentation to an end, let's share with you those 21 persons that have already become multi-millionaires in PGI. All right. And it's all about believing.
Hi, Dr. Rose, I believe.
Arsenal Jaffa, I believe.
Aurora Season, naniniwala ako. I, Madeline, I believe.
Shamsu Mia.
I, Fiona Richards, I
Julie Ledicoin. Lucy Mwema, Mamini.
Mintoy Mendes, I believe.
I, Scotty Fianai, I believe. I, Philip King, I believe.
Miguel Angel Lopez, I believe.
Scalina Kamau, Naamini.
Benny Akik, I believe.
Mumuza Gerard, I believe.
I'm Raquel Paulino, I firmly believe. I Shabulai. I Denise Scales.
I Richard. Ruhi Omar Farouk, I believe. Jane Kohler, I believe. Shafiullah, I believe.
Helen Graham, I absolutely believe.
Harvey Palafox, I am the believer. This are all the masters of PGI Global.
Yes,
And
I am a believer. Bravo PGI,
Thank you everyone for believing. We are here to change your life. Thank you.
You're alive.
Okay, guys, so that's it. I want to thank everyone for coming out this evening. Appreciate all of you who taking the time to be here. And also remember, guys, our next session is 1 o'clock, all right, tomorrow, and 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Okay, so go ahead, you can share the same link, okay, and allow you to tap back in. Again, get back to the person who invited you. That person have some information to share with you. And let them share with you how we get our Bitcoin and how we get started to put our cryptocurrency to work for us. Okay, guys? All right, so thanks again, everyone. Good night and God bless.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone. Have
Good
a
night.
great night.
Good night,
See you guys tomorrow.
Good night to all.
Bye-bye.
See you
Yeah.
next. See you the next night. Night.
Good night, everyone.
The
Good
more
night.
you come, the more you learn.
Good night, everyone. Good night,
Good night.
PGI.
Good night, family.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.